like, what in the world is that? I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Hey, this is Jason with Denwerks. I'm pretty excited today. Actually, I'm excited a lot of times when with some of my rigs, but I really love old trucks. I love utility type rigs, you know, things that we can use, you know, things I could take to Cars and Coffee, and you know, and at the same time throw the dog in and go camping or fishing or something like that, or you know, hook on a old Airstream or something like that, and just have a good time. I like to have stuff that I can use with the family and things, so it's pretty neat. This is really a neat old truck, and we'll flip it around too so you can see the other side kind of in the light. But what's interesting about this one too, it is a two-wheel drive truck, and it has the earlier bed on it. You can see that, but many of these did not come with the deluxe trim, and you can see the trim. Usually these trucks had no trim at all on them, so this is really nice because it's got the original trim and looks really good. So we'll just do a little walk around here. I'll show you the lights first, and then we'll just walk around, talk about different things that we did to it. So go ahead and turn the marker lights on first, then the headlights and the bright lights. We'll go ahead and turn the blinkers on. We got your right and we got our left, and I'll leave the lights on. We actually did a lot of work to this truck, but we made sure everything was all wired up so the lights work on the canopy. I thought this canopy was so cool on the truck, especially because it has a lot of windows across. You know, usually you'll just have that middle one, and I love this window here. It's called a jealousy window, and there's 3 little panes that flip out. You'll see those on a lot of vintage camping trailers, but it's really nice because, you know, as you look through there, you can really see through the back of this truck, and the windows come really far out here, so that's really actually pretty cool. So Gem Top was actually built, they built camping tops. Actually they're still in business, and up in Portland, Oregon, just north of us. So that's been on here since the thing was new. So we'll go ahead and just walk around the front, turn the headlights off, and I'll just show you some different stuff about the truck. Usually here across the front, these are really rusty, and I'll show you when we look underneath the hood. There's no bubbling or anything. This looks really good. It had a bug guard on it, and if you look at our photos on the auction and stuff, there's a little bit more dirtier up here. We actually waxed that all off there, so just leave some little marks there, but there's little tiny chips you're gonna see on the truck, little imperfections. There's a big chip here and a little crack there. It's starting to sprinkle on me a little bit here, so we'll try to be a little quicker, but you can see some little flecks, but you'll see a chip here. We'll get a good idea of what the truck looks like. You can see a little tiny dent right there in the hood. Look across here on the grill, you can see a big scratch right there. A lot of little scratches. You know, it's been painted one time, and you can see some paint flaked off there at some point. We painted the grill white, just freshened it up so it matched the wheels, and match the bumper as well. There is one little chip right here on the bumper, if you can see that. And but overall, you know, it looks really nice. You can see here where some of the paint had come off a long time ago. It's not a fancy paint job on it. It's an older paint job, but I actually like it a lot. You look at the fender. You know, this truck is really solid actually. It's not all rusted out or anything like that. There's a couple little bubbles in this quarter in the back bottom of the cab, but underneath is amazing on it. We did a little floor patch on it as well, and you'll see those in the still photos. But we did put brand new tires, painted the wheels, rebuilt the front end. The engine was rebuilt probably, well, I know it was rebuilt because we have a big list of all the work that was done on it, notes by a previous seller, a previous owner, and so the engine was rebuilt and everything. So you'll see pictures of all that stuff too. But we did put new tires on it. They're 2 35 85 16s, and you'll see they're LTs. They're a highway type tire, and it's got really good tread on it. But we just did a lot of work to the truck, and we'll go across here on the bottom of the door. You know, you can see all the imperfections. You can see where the gasoline, you know, if you had one of these trucks when you were younger, you know, this is common. And maybe you saw your granddad or something like that, you know, filling up the gas, and there it comes pouring out. So but you can see little scratches and different things going on. You can see here where some mirrors were at one point. You look across the top of the cab, you know, it looks really good. You know, it's not all rusty. You can see where they put some sealer on it a long time ago. There's some leaves, and but overall looks really good. We'll walk down here across the bed. This is kind of cool. You can see the original spot welds going across here on the bed. You can see them on the back when we get back there, but that's kind of cool. You can see the original spot welds going across the bottom here. We'll just look around the wheel well here. You know, no rust, looks really good. I love the bumper on it. I'll show you that in a minute. You can see some paint flaws, you know, just a lot of paint flaws. Actually, this I was thinking it was this side. This part of the cab looks actually really good, and there's no bubbles, but on the other side there's a couple little bubbles. And walk around here to the back. You know, again, you'll see some chipping and scratching. They put a little putty here. I actually knocked some of that out on the other side. There's actually not even any reason for it to be there. I think they were just trying to seal it because you know, it's a factory seam, and I could have took that out of there. I just didn't do it, and just left it. So it's a cool rig. We'll flip it around here. You can take a look at the other side. Hey, here we are. We're on the passenger side, going to take a look at it. And hey, go ahead and rev it up a little bit. It doesn't blow any smoke. Yeah, that's just regular condensation. It's cold out, but it doesn't blow any blue smoke or anything like that. The engine's actually really in really good shape. We'll go ahead and turn it off. You know, it sounds really good. And we'll go ahead and show you the lights. Got your tail lights. You can see there it's got a third brake light up there. And go ahead and turn your brake lights on. You got brakes, we got blinkers. Got your left, and we got right. And I believe I even had the license plate light fixed. You can see there. You know, that license plate actually doesn't go with the truck. I put it on there for fun. Kind of a rare plate. It's 1963 Pacific Wonderland plate. It's a dealer plate from '63. So if you went to the Ford dealer back in the day, they would have put that on there and took you for a little test drive. And so I thought it was kind of fitting to put it on there. I love this bumper on there. I mean, it is really cool, and I love the style. And one of the reasons you might ask, why did they, you know, cut it in like that? You can actually take the tailgate, and the tailgate will then not just come out, you know, right here. You can actually flip it all the way down, and so that's kind of neat the way they did that. And but I do have a little hitch that goes in here, bolts in here, that you guys will get to. So if you actually want to pull a old boat or camper or something like that, it's already set up for that. And I love this canopy, just really, really cool, and just love the look at it. So we'll just go ahead and look around the back here, and you can see some little, I put some rubber on here on the chains. That's what happens when you don't do that. The paint starts rubbing off. And same thing here, you know, but no one thought about that, you know, back in the day a lot of times. So here's that little, you know, kind of little putty. They were just kind of trying to fill in the seams and stuff. You can see here, you know, overall this truck is really solid, and you know, I really like it, and I wouldn't mind keeping this truck. I mean, it's just a cool truck, but you know, that's not what I can't keep everything, you know, but it's just hard to find something like that, you know, especially because it's not perfect and stuff, and it's just really usable, you know. And that's the way they made these trucks. It's nice, you can see the original spot welds and stuff. You can actually see the original spot welds up here across the top, and not a lot of filler on this truck. You know, I've been all over it, and no signs of any accidents. You know, you can see the original spot welds coming across here and here, and just looks really good. And we also put new bushings and stuff in the back, and I'll have it up on my lift, and you can see it as well. Here's these little bubbles I was talking about on this back of this cab on this side, and there's another sticker on this side as well, and just really cool. And we'll go ahead and look at the bottom of the door here. Again, not rusty, but you'll see some little chips and different things, little imperfections, and overall it looks really good. No rust on this side, no bubbles. On the other side, I forgot to mention, there was a little bolt there. I have no clue why, and just if anyone asks me, maybe something came disconnected or something like that, and they put a bolt through there. You know, it's utilitarian, and that's sometimes what people just did with old trucks. You know, just fix it, you know, the way it is, and move on. So anyways, it does stay nice and dry inside. We'll probably be driving a little bit in the rain, and you can see the rubber gasket actually looks really good. I think that was probably replaced at some point. So anyways, I hope that gives you a good look of the outside. We'll take a look at some more things. Okay, we're going to take a look on the inside of the truck. I don't know why I tell you guys every time we're going to look. You know, obviously I'm going to look inside the truck, but I'm always kind of saying stuff like that, but it's pretty self-explanatory. But anyways, I just wanted to show you, you know, the interior. I love the way it looks. I was just going to mention too, I don't have, you know, the key fits in here, but it's not unlocking the door, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on there. And maybe they put a new ignition in it at one point, and I'll have to call the previous owner, a really nice guy, and see if he's got a different key. And I just kind of noticed that, and you know, so I just wanted to let you know that. You know, I love the way the dashes look in these. I love the white dash, and I kind of like how it kind of matches the outside, because you know, you got the wheels, the bumpers, and stuff. They're white. And when I got it, the seat was all ripped up, and it had a black seat in it originally, but I wanted to kind of change it up so it was a little bit more color coded to the truck, but still kind of looked factory. And you know, I got the right stitching in and everything in it, but I went ahead and put white on top and around the edges. I just thought it kind of tied it in a little nice, and I'm not trying to build a custom car or something like that. It's just, I just wanted it to look good, and I think it actually turned out nice. You can see here it's got seat belts in it. I don't think these in '63 a lot of cars didn't have seat belts actually, so this truck probably didn't have them originally, and that's why they look like aftermarket, or maybe like a GM type seat belt. But it's got actually 3 across here, so if you got, you know, a kid, or you and your wife and, you know, someone else, or you got 3 buddies who want to drive around, you can do that. It had an aftermarket stereo in it when I got it, and you can see here it's got a USB and a CD, so that's nice. We'll show you the other side and the glove box and everything, but all the gauges seem to be working. It's got an oil pressure gauge down here, and a volt. You can see the heater works, and miles on it show 3956. It's rolled over once, but I know just from my receipts the whole truck's been kind of gone through, you know, mechanically, but it's got 203 on it, and sure doesn't feel like it, you know, especially after rebuilding a lot of that stuff. And looks good. You can see here the original mat. I believe that's an original mat. It looks nice, and in the still photos you'll see, I'm not going to take it out of here just in the video, but I did put a little patch right across. It's hard to get out of here, but there's a little patch that we put in right here. There was a little bit of surface rust with a couple pinholes, so we went ahead and just repaired it. You can see here the door jambs look really good, and absolutely no rust, no accidents, And you can see the door panels look in good shape. You know, they're painted nice, you know, original armrests and stuff, not ripped. This speaker here doesn't match the other speaker, and you probably never notice it, but I just wanted to let you know that. And look behind the seat, you know, all stock, looks really good. And the headliner is in really nice condition. It was probably, I'm guessing it was probably replaced, but it looks really good. It's a cardboard headliner, and looks in nice shape. So we'll go ahead and hop on the other side and take a look over there. Okay, here we are looking here on the passenger side. I'm gonna go ahead and roll up the window. We'll roll up the other one too. You know, they roll really nice. Very, very smooth. Sheldon will do that one for me. You know, they roll real nice and look good. You can see there's no rust around the bottom of the door panel. Inside the door panel looks, or the door here looks good. The rubber actually looks pretty decent. I forgot to show you on the other side, there's a VIN tag on that side right here. And when I was looking at it over there, you probably seen it, but I might run over there here in a second and show it to you again. But look inside the glove box. You know, everything looks good. This is a reproduction owner's manual. I've got tons of receipts and brochures and different things for the truck, and you know, it's kind of nice to have all that stuff. You know, usually you see people that, you know, they got Porsches and different things, and they, you know, looking for a paper trail, but usually don't find a paper trail on an old truck. But this has an excellent paper trail, and you can see here the visors come apart just a little bit there on the edge, and but overall it looks really good. And you can see here the shifter is a 4-speed transmission, and you can see some cracking here on the shifter. So anyways, I hope that gives you a good idea of this side. Just going to show you the door jamb one last time, and you know, overall it looks really in nice condition. I wanted to show you that VIN I was talking about. You can see here, it's never been off the truck. It's got the original rivets and everything. You can see where they painted around it a little bit, but you guys who want to decode it out, you can. And I got a still photo too, so it does match the title, so everything's good there. And so hopefully that helps you out a little more. Okay, here we are. We're gonna take a look inside the bed. I wanted to show you, I do have the key to this, and it does lock, so that's good. And I was gonna show you, there's a little chain. You hook it right here. I'll show you. Little chain, and then when we lift it up, it hooks onto this little thing. You know, back in the day, maybe they didn't have hood hinges. I mean, lid hinges. So, anyways, that's how that stays up there. Nice and secure. Hey, Stanley, what are you doing in there? Huh? Wanting to go fishing? I've been wondering where you're at. Usually you're out here walking around while we're talking. So we'll go ahead and flip this open. Hopefully that didn't look too staged. But he does like to ride with me and go places. You can see here, you just hook those latches in there, and bed looks really good in here. And it's got 2 spots for a jerry can. I'll have to take Stanley's picnic basket out here so you can see a little bit. That is the factory spare, where the spare tire goes. And the bed looks really nice. This canopy's been on it since new, and just looks in really good condition. You can see one little dent right here in the bed, but it looks really nice. You know, I don't see any rust or any problems in here. If you look up above here, you know, the canopy looks in great shape, and no dents or anything up at the top of it, and looks really in nice condition. And I know that light works here. Then there's a little, how do you have to hit the, oh, there, okay, there's a little you have to do something in the cab, and then there's a little switch here, and there's a light there. So anyways, really nice in here, and it's actually really usable. It's a nice thing too is the canopy is a little larger, and you know, a lot of canopies sit down a lot shorter and stuff. So this is very usable. Hey, we're going to take a look underneath the hood. There's a little latch right there. You know, I've opened a lot of rigs, and sometimes I have a hard time remembering too exactly where everything goes and everything. But one thing you'll notice here, this is not factory, and it's got a prop rod. These things did have springs right over here on both of the hood hinges, but you know, I don't know if it didn't have the right springs or not, but when I got it, the back of the hood kind of lifted up right here, just a little bit, and I think the wrong springs were on it, because as soon as I took the springs off, it shut perfect, and I think there's just too much spring. So someone, you know, either keep it like this or find the right tension springs, which is hard to find. So, but I'm going to give you those old springs that came with the truck. And I just think they have too much tension, and they weren't from, they're just not the correct one. So I just wanted to point that out. Engine compartment looks really good, and we did a little detail to it, but not much. You'll see pictures of it with the valve covers off. We put new gaskets and stuff. The engine was rebuilt in '96 and '97. It's got about 20,000 miles on it. You can see here it's got an Edelbrock carburetor, and it's running a 4-barrel, and the intake manifold is from a 1957 Thunderbird, either a 292 or 312, and this is a 292 engine. I think this is the last year they put the 292 in these trucks, but a lot of work was done to it. It's got an Airson cam, and everything looks really good, and we put a new pan gasket on it as well, and you know, I just think this truck runs excellent, and it's nice that they still ran the original air cleaner on it and stuff. But it's really nice when you look inside the hood here. We'll start it up here in a minute, but you know, no accident damage. You know, everything is really clean and super nice overall. You can see the original firewall. You know, it just looks good, and you know, like I was talking about with the hood, a lot of times these rust out. This here, I mean, this is amazing for one of these hoods here. No rust, absolutely. It's just really clean and very nice. And so we'll go ahead and start it up. You can hear it run. You know, sounds good. Runs really smooth. Go ahead and rev it up a little bit. You know, we'll take it out for a drive a little bit, and it's very dependable. You know, some other things we did too is we ran a new fuel line and new brake lines here. I just didn't like the way they ran them. They had a bunch of different connections, and we just did some little stuff. And if you notice here how the exhaust manifold comes up, a lot of these trucks, this is running dual exhaust, but they ran a single exhaust usually, and so there was a crossover pipe that went over to the other side on the other side of the head, and then they connected. This one's been has a block-off plate on it, and so we can run dual exhaust. But it's kind of an interesting design that Ford did on these trucks. So this one's running dual exhaust as well. So hopefully that gives you a good look of the engine compartment, and we'll take a look at some other things. Okay, here we are. We're going to take a look underneath the truck. You're still going to see the still photos and stuff, but we've been doing a lot of videos and stuff underneath. It just gives me a better opportunity to show you different things, poke on different things, and talk about it a little bit better. So anyways, we'll just start here from the front to the back, and just start right up here. We actually put new bushings here on the springs. We actually had this whole axle out and put new kingpins and everything. We had one tire that was really worn, And I actually do a video online that I show us rebuilding the straight axle in here. So it's got new kingpins, and you can see here I put brand new tires on it. There's a couple little rocks in it, but these tires probably have, maybe, you can actually see the nubs. They probably have 5 miles on them right now, but you can see up here underneath the engine, very, very clean. The engine was rebuilt a while back, but I don't think it has very many miles on it. It's got a new pan gasket on it as well, and everything looks real good. Up here, the shocks are actually fairly new. They were on it when I got it, and the brakes are all done. Everything's all greased up, and a lot of work was done on this truck. We put new bushings back here as well, and on the eyelets there, and you can see here, you can see that kingpin, you know, going through there in the bushings and stuff. So everything was done nice. You can see the brake hose looks real good. You know, there's no cracks or anything in those, so they look nice. And we went ahead and painted the wheels at the same time. We serviced the transmission, put new fluid in and everything in it. That's what 1017 means. That's the last time we did it. We put a new gasket here, and we went ahead and put a new seal at the back there, you can see, and transmission's in great shape. You can see here the floors and stuff on this truck are really nice. You look at the bottom of the rockers and stuff. Again, excellent condition. I don't see any rust here underneath, which is nice. You can see the mount there looks good. A little hairline, little weather checking and stuff, but nothing bad. We'll look inside the wheel well here. We did put a little patch on the floor. You can see right there, we did put a little patch on the floor. When I pull up the carpet, I mean the rubber floor mat, you can see it. And but there was a little patch that needed to be done here. Again, this side looks really nice. You know, this truck is really solid, and it's not perfect, but you know, it hasn't been molested, and it's just a clean old truck. You can look back here. You know, the back of the cab on this side looks good. When we're on the outside here, you can see there's some little bubbles right here, but we'll go around here to look at the other side. You know, the U-joints and everything look good, and go back here. I see a little bit of, they put some kind of sealer right here on the cab, so I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe there was a little tiny rust there at some point, but the drains all look clean and clear. You look at the back of the cab here on this side, you know, it doesn't look too bad. Go back here to the rear end, you know, inside the bed, you know, and the frame looks excellent. Exhaust looks good. And you know, this I forgot what this was called, but this mount here for the drive line, the bushing in there is really nice too. You can see it's got coilovers in the rear. You know, nothing leaking out of the rear end or anything like that. We actually did take the back pumpkin cover off and put a new gasket, and did that on 1017, and put new gear oil and everything. And it's kind of nice, it's still got its original tag on the rear. Look at the brake housings and stuff. Everything looks good. We show still photos and stuff of the wheels off and the drums off of the truck too. And the drums are actually new as well. You can see here the back of the bed looks great. You know, mechanically this truck is in really good shape. Structurally it's great. You know, it's just a nice truck. It's hard to find one like this. So if you got questions and stuff, you know, just give me a call. You can answer, you know, make some comments on the auction and everything. We'd be glad to help. So I hope this one goes to a nice home. It's a nice old little F100.